Good morning, or indeed good afternoon or good evening, and welcome to today's everyday workshop with me, Bruce McLaughlin, the manager of the Knowledge Exchange Centre. Today we're going to be looking at logging into Teams. This is the place where you will be able to join all of your online lessons. Now, depending which device you're using, you may wish to download the Teams app. You can do that first in whichever your regular app store is, whether it's Apple or Android. The app is available in both and will of course work on your mobile device, your tablet device, or your laptop stroke MacBook device. But our focus today is going to be on accessing Teams. The first stage for that is to think about the best browser to use. Our recommendation is to use Google Chrome. You'll find that is the best browser for using for this. You'll get the most of all of the features. It will work in other browsers, in Safari, etc., Firefox and others, but this is our preferred browser, so it's definitely also worth downloading this to your device. Here are some of the things that you're going to need. The first thing you're going to need to do is to log into Office 365. To do that, you're going to need your Nelson College London email address. It will look something like this. I'm just using the example johnsmith@stu.nelsoncollege.ac.uk. You must use this email address, not your own personal email address, as that will not work. You're also going to need your temporary password, which you'll have been given when you've been given the college email address as well. So here we are in Google Chrome. We've come to the home screen. I'm showing you this on a laptop or MacBook basis. That's the ideal solution. Using your mobile device, the screen may prove too small to really see some of the slides that your lecturer might be showing you and some of the interactions. So we would strongly recommend you use a laptop or a tablet, because the resolution on a tablet screen is reasonably good as well. Type directly into the toolbar office.com. That's all you need to type, and click enter and it will take you through to the site. Here we are on the logon screen that you'll have got, and because you've got your student password and ID, we're going to go straight to signing in. So we click on sign in. It takes us through to this first screen, and I'm going to be signing in with my college email address, johnSmith@stu.nelsoncollege.ac.uk. I click on to next, and it's asking me for my password. And I enter my password, I click sign on. I'm coming through. Now, because this is the first time that I've logged in, it's asking me to reset the password. So that keeps it nice and secure, because I'm now going to set a password that is only known to me. It's not known to anybody else. So first of all, I enter my current password, but that's the temporary password that you were issued. Now I'm going to create my new password. And I'm going to do that again just to make sure it's confirmed. And I'm going to click sign in. It's updating it. Oh, okay, look at what's happened here. My password wasn't secure enough. So I'm going to have to find something a little bit stronger to use for my password. Okay, let's hope Google's going to be happy with that. Yes, it's delighted. Okay, it needs a little bit more information. Click next. It's probably going to ask me for a little mobile number or something to get through. So I'm going to add a phone number to this just so that I can get that to be done. I enter my region first. We're right down the bottom of the list because we're in the United Kingdom. And I'm going to ask it to send me a text. In comes my text message, and that will give me a code which I will put into this box. I'll verify that. I don't need to do both of those, and I'm going to stay signed in. So here we are, we're in this box. You can see there's a couple of helpful screens to just guide you through. You can click on these one at a time. It gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the things that you see in there. And once you're happy, you come through to your home screen. Once you're successfully logged into Office 365, you'll see you've got a wide number of options across the top here. Now, obviously particularly useful when you come to your assignments. You'll have things like Word and PowerPoint for your assignment documents and for your presentations. So those will be two tools that you'll use very regularly. But today we are focusing on Teams because that's how you will access your online classroom. So you go across to Teams and you click on that icon to take you into your virtual classroom. Once you've logged on to Teams, you're going to get a screen looking something like the one that you've got in front of me. The bit we're really interested in at the moment is the tabs over at the side. Click on the one that's called Teams. If you click on that, what you will see is that as a student, all the classes that you're a member of will appear down in this left-hand column over here. So let's say your timetable tells you that you're about to be in a food and beverage operation class. You would click onto that and you'll see a dialog box comes up over here, which you have the option to join that meeting. So you click. Therefore, if I click on the join link, that will take me through to the call. So I'm being asked, will I allow the use of my microphone and my camera? And of course, I wish to allow that to happen. So I've set that as allow, and I'm okaying to let me through to the lesson. To get the very best from your lesson, here are a few hints and tips. Number one, as soon as you log on, mute your microphone. This saves a lot of distraction and a lot of background noise, which will distract everybody else who's in the lesson. Number two, blur your background. Now you're probably sitting there going, but Bruce, we don't know how to do that. Once I've given you these few tips, I'm going to move over to the Teams screen and I'm going to show you how to do all of these things. Number three, leave your camera switched on so that the lecturer is able to see you participating in the lesson. Number 4, use the chat option. Again, I'm going to show you how to use that in a moment. And number 5, use some visual responses. Stick your thumb up, show your clapping, nod your head. Usual things that you would probably be doing if you were in the classroom anyway. Once you're ready to join the meeting and you've clicked on the link, you'll come up with a screen that will look a little bit like this. And you can see right in the middle is a picture of you in your camera, and by adjusting your device you can obviously move the picture upwards and downwards, or you can move it closer to yourself or further away. Just till you're comfortable, that's what things are going to look like on the camera. And when you're comfortable with that, then you click on the button here which says Join Now. Click on that and I'm being connected through to my meeting. You'll see there's a little warning that's come up that's telling me that my speaker volume is low, so I may have difficulty hearing what's going on. So that's a clue for you to turn your speakers up. Let's just get rid of that dialog box. You'll see at the bottom here this little toolbar, and the first thing that you should do as soon as you're in the meeting is to mute your microphone. You click on that and you'll see there's a little cross that's gone through it. The reason that you mute your microphone is that if it's left on, it's going to pick up a lot of background noise, and that will distract others in the meeting and you'll get a lot of feedback, and it will create for a disjointed experience. So first thing to do is to turn off your microphone. You'll see a little warning's been flashing up just reminding me that I've done that, because of course if I wanted to speak to the lecturer or to fellow students, I would need to turn the microphone back on to do that. You'll see that little toolbar disappeared once I give it my instruction. To make it return, you simply hover your mouse around and it will come back again. Let's have a look at the background now. Now I've got a lot of distraction going on in the background, and people are looking at are probably far too busy looking at what's he got behind him, what's that. So we want to blur that out. So the next thing you can do is you come across to these 3 little dots and it says More Actions. If you click on those, you'll see there's an option up here that says Show Background Effects. Click on that and some options have come up at the side of the screen. This is the preferred option. You can click on this, and as soon as you click Apply, you'll notice my background is now blurred and it's much less distracting. You can just see me on the screen. And obviously that gives an element of privacy as well and protects anybody else who happens to walk behind you or anything else that's going on in the screen. If you want to, there are another few effects here. You could, for example, place yourself in a room, so it looks like you're in there, or you could, if you really want to, you could push yourself into the mountains. Very nice, but maybe a little bit distracting. So let's just simply blur out our background. There we are, nice blurred background. Something else that you could do that's really helpful for your lecturer and perhaps some of the other students is that when your microphone is off, of course, nobody can hear the things that you're saying. So things that are really useful for your lecturer, if he's making an interesting point, then just nod your head a little bit to show, okay, yeah, I understand that, just like you would if you were in the classroom. Something else you might think about doing, if your lecturer says to you, does everybody understand? You could do this. Okay, it's very visual. It's a recognized symbol. You've put your thumb up. You've shown that you understand that what's going on. And your lecturer can see that you're responding. And of course, if somebody's made a good point, then there's the universal. Again, you're demonstrating that a point's been well made, you're applauding something, and it's a visual clue to your lecturer and to your other students that you're enjoying what's going on and participating. Okay, let's just have a look at a couple of other useful features that you'll want to use during the lesson. Now the first one is, here we are, we're hovering back in, here comes my little toolbar. The first one is, you might want to see who else is in the classroom at the same time as you. If you click on show participants, you'll get a little dialog box up at the side that shows you all the people that are in the meeting. At the moment, it's only me, but all your other classmates, your lecturers and anybody else who's in the lesson would appear down this sidebar. But much more useful is this other option. Essentially it's the chat box. So we'll click on that and we'll get up a very familiar text-based screen. Now let's say your lecturer has just explained a calculation for you, but you're not clear on a point. Now you could raise your hand to show you want to ask a question. You could turn your microphone on and say to the lecturer, sorry, could you say that again? But it's probably smoother and quicker if you type into the side here, whatever your question is. Does that include VAT? Question mark. And when I either press enter or click on this little arrow here, that question will go up into the classroom. The lecturer can see that you haven't quite understood or you have a question, and they can then respond to that question. You can also use this if your lecturer has asked for some interaction and he said, who has an opinion on this or who has that? Again, you have those options. You could turn your microphone on and speak. If you're a little bit shy of doing that, then the chat box is a really useful alternative for doing that. Once the lesson's concluded and your lecturer has answered all your questions and everything resolved, the last thing you need to do, of course, is to hang up and say cheerio. No surprise really that all you simply need to do for that is you press on the red phone here to hang up if you need to leave the lesson or when the lesson's concluded. So I click on that and you can see I'm down as leaving and I've disappeared. And what you'll come back to is a transcript of all the questions that were answered. So that's quite useful because you'll be able to read through any questions and answers that were posed by you or by others, and that will really help with your understanding. I hope seeing those on the screen really brought these little tips to life and you can see how to do them. And obviously the advantage of this being a short video, you can replay it as many times as you like, just to make sure that you're following along with everything that's happening. Anyway, that concludes our short presentation. If there are any questions that you'd like to ask, obviously happy to be here to help. But if you're having technical difficulties logging on or anything of that nature, there is a useful help desk contact email address, and that address is nclservicedesk@nelsoncollege.ac.uk. So any technical help that you need, any queries, if they haven't been answered by this short video, then please do feel free to use that address and one of our IT support team will be back to help you with your issue as soon as possible. Thanks for listening in. I hope it's been useful, and as always, love to hear from you. Stay well, stay safe out there.